So I think today is a very important day. I was on Twitter earlier today and I saw Mark Dever and Lig Duncan announcing that T4G, Together for the Gospel, a biannual pastors conference, is going to be coming to an end after 16 years. Here's what they said.
But we can see this through for one more time.
And we just decided, okay, this is it. This is the last T4G.
And that, honestly, Ligon, that's kind of given me a sort
Freeing.
of... It is. It's a kind of monkey off the back.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joyful, like,
absolutely.
all right, we got one more shot at this.
Yeah.
Let's do it like this. Yeah. And I'm in some ways more excited about this one than maybe even the first one.
I am too.
So why does this matter? Well, I think it matters partly because where it came from. You know, in 2006, at the height of the Young Restless Reform movement, we had a bunch of those Reformed-ish leaders coming together. Mark Dever, John Piper, Lig Duncan, John MacArthur, R.C. Sproul, Al Mohler, C.J. Mahaney being a big part of it early on. And they all got together, and based off of their friendships, the relationships that they had, different pastors, different leaders from different denominations getting together, and they thought that was so beneficial, they wanted to start a conference where they could have other pastors come every 2 years and have those kind of relationships built as they worship together and were under the Word together, that they would develop these kinds of relationships that they found beneficial for themselves. And it got big fast because of that Young Restless Reform movement, and thousands of pastors would come to these conferences and meet other pastors from other denominations that they would have never met had it not been for that conference. And it was a beautiful thing. And it coming to an end, maybe it's my nostalgia, I'll admit it, but it coming to an end, I think, is a watershed moment for evangelicalism. Because when I look at evangelicalism, I see a circling of the wagons. You know, not a risk-taking kind of attitude of crossing denominational lines and focusing on the big things. I see us becoming much more narrowed in our focus, a circling of the wagons where we're not just concerned about just the gospel, but we're also concerned about a lot of ideas and theology that we feel are crucial to this moment in history. So things like social justice, CRT, Calvinism, complementarianism. There are a lot of different theological ideas that we're saying these are the things that we're wanting to really focus on right now. And we're not wanting to have these big relationships across denominational lines to where we're doing different things and like partnering through like a conference or something like that. I made a video just like last week about Mark Galli, the former chief editor of Christianity Today, talking about basically theorizing who's going to be the next Christianity Today. And I said that I don't think that there's going to be one. I think we're going to be focusing really on our networks and on our fellowships rather than on our denominations, and especially interdenominational partnerships. I think that those days are coming to an end because we're just in these polarized times. So when I saw this video, and I encourage you, there's a 30-minute version of this conversation between Mark Dever and Lig Duncan that I'll have at the in the description of this video. I'd encourage you to go and watch it. It's really good. It's interesting. They get into a lot of the ideas. They talk about the Martin Luther King Jr. panel, as well as some other moments that were pretty controversial in the last couple of years. And I think, honestly, what led to this decision, that they were reading the room of evangelicalism and saying, well, I don't think that people are going to be wanting this for much longer. And it's coming to an end. It's kind of sad. It's really sad, honestly. Not just because of who was involved, who's going to be the speakers, but I mean, you think about it, thousands of pastors from different denominations getting together and singing in worship and being under the Word together. That's a pretty beautiful thing. And honestly, I think we took it for granted because things are changing. And I don't know if we're going to be seeing things like that again. But That's just my thoughts. If you have different thoughts, I'd be encouraged to find out what they are. Let me know in the description of this video. If you haven't already, like this video, and maybe think about subscribing to the channel. I'll be back on Monday with another Theo Live episode, so be on the lookout for that. Maybe another video dropping at the end of this week. We'll see how things go, but I'll see you in the next one.